it's transphobia. Because, like, they wouldn't have that same reaction to a cis girl or even a man doing what I'm doing. It's the fact that it's a trans lady. It adds to this layer of, like, I don't understand what's happening here. I see rope. I see her hanging from the ceiling. It's all too much for me to You know what I mean? Like, it's not rope. It's a lady with a penis. But actually, they don't even know that. They haven't even seen it. A lot of men, I think they have this deep-seated fear when it comes to trans ladies about how it could happen to them. I think they view this idea that it's like, because it's like the worst thing they could imagine. Because they're fucking men. You know what I mean? Because, and so I think they project that idea of what if this thing happened to me, and that's the fear, because it's like because it's scary. Like, what if suddenly you fucking had to transition? That's scary to pretty much most people, and I think they're externalizing and projecting that fear onto other people. You know what I mean? That's why one of my favorite things to say to transphobic people is I used to be just like you. I used to think I was a dude too. I used to, like, sometimes I'll get, like, real aggressive and be like, yeah, I thought that everything was normal and I used to be just like you, and now look at me. I hope it doesn't happen to you too. Like, I used to be like that more. The idea that, like, it's something that happens to, and it could, like get them. You know what I mean? Because that's very scary to them. Is like the idea that something could get them. You know. Somebody had made a good point about homophobia. How they'd said that most homophobia in men is literally just this gut visceral reaction to the potential that they could be treated like a woman. And they know that men basically are abusive to women and are, you know what I mean? They're literally afraid of facing their own patriarchy. Is what somebody had kind of phrased, like, one of the deep-seated things about homophobia is that they're afraid to be subject to their own abuse, basically, which makes sense. Why would you? Yeah, that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, I get all this. I'm starting to get a lot of the transphobia and homophobia more because it's scary. And I think it's funny to put it like that because it infantilizes it. The idea that it's scary, and that's what it comes down to for a lot of people. Is this like a scary thought? Because it's like, what if it happens to me? Because that's where most people's fear truly comes from. Is what if happens to me? Like, it's not about what's happening to other people. Usually, it's like their form, of empathy is taking it back to them. So when you think about it like that, it's kind of just like a bunch of people, a bunch of children afraid of the dark, and it makes more sense in that way, and it kind of removes a little bit of the, like, exasperation, I guess, in a sense, because why wouldn't a child be afraid of the dark? That's understandable. I can get that. Hate makes me angry, because that's stupid. Fear, that makes more sense. And the fact that they're all just fucking fearful, and that's the true root of homophobia and transphobia, that makes more sense because they're literally, yeah, again, they're just afraid of something they don't understand happening to them. And, like, it's like, if somebody's in a dark room, they're not upset about that. They're like, well, what if I'm in a dark room? Like, oh no. And that can cause them to overthink and spiral, just like me with my ADHD brain. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hi, you need a tip to be in here.